Hello, so today we are going to do something where we try a new Android Studio feature, which is Studio Bot. So this is a pretty cool new AI tool. So let's check it out first um, in Google's main page. So it's supposed to be similar to ChatGPT, but more specific to Android, to answer Android coding questions. The first requirement is you need to download the latest Android Studio Hedgehog. And then the other thing is you need to be in the US. But of course, if you are not in the US, you can use a VPN. But it's a requirement to at least have geolocation indicating in the US. And so yeah, once we do that and we log in, you can see it here. You'll need to log in with your account and just accept a couple of prompts. But once you do that, we have Studio Bots here, and you can ask it any Android questions. So for example, here it gives us some examples of questions we can ask. So let's try create a map in Kotlin. So you can see it just gives you a map like this. So maybe let's try to see if it understands follow-up questions. So let's say, can you create it with values in the same instruction or something like that. Let's see if it's able to do that, right? So you can see it's sort of similar to ChatGPT, where it has the context of what you asked it before, and you can ask it follow-up questions. And so here, let's see if we can ask it, do we have to use mutable map? Let me just increase the font here. So let's say, do you have to use mutable map? No, you do not have to use it. You can use map of. Okay, can you apply it? And it is unfortunately it's not great. So you can see here, for example, it did use mutable map. So can you use map of instead? Yep, now it's able to do it. It wasn't able to understand this. Can you apply it? Yeah, of course. Similar to ChatGPT, some prompts it's not able to understand them exactly or apply them correctly. But for now, let's try to actually tell us something. Let's say create something useful. Create a compose activity with the text, with an edit text and a button. Let's say to enter a username and a button to submit it, then a view model to save that submit in maybe preferences or something. Okay, let's see if it's able to do this complicated prompt. We are asking it to do multiple things, create a bunch of UI text, and then also like have a view model for it. So what I really like here that is different than ChatGPT is it gives you the references of what it used. So here, let's try to see if we apply this, if it's somewhat accurate. So here we need to create a column, of course. Can I just tell it to use it? Yeah, seems like it does. So let's just actually tell it to create it, and bam, it created a main activity for us. So that's pretty cool. So let's explore what we have here. So we have did it actually update the Gradle file? Let's see. Okay, I don't need this. I don't think it did, but let's see if this code runs. Our main activity, where is it? It's in my application, so it should be here. So let's reload. Okay, let's see what is it. For some reason, it's not showing up here. I think that's probably a bug. Let's refresh again. Okay, let's view open in, reveal in Finder. Okay, so it's actually in the right place. It is in the right place, except it's not showing up for some reason. Let's see if it's let's do a project app colon. Okay, here it is. For some reason it's not showing up in the Android view, but it creates a username, a submit button, and then here it uses the view model scope to get the preferences, get the editor, and then add the username value, which is a state here. And then it creates the layout with a text field for the username and then a button. And then when you click the button, you can see here it edits the preferences. Okay, let's try to run this, and here is the view model. So let's try to run this and see if it actually works. So the other thing is it's not using this username, so it actually won't show up when we open the app. So it actually wasn't able to run it because this just created the main activity. It didn't do the full thing by adding it to the manifest. And so that's what we need to have here. So let's actually just continue using StudioBot to see if it helps us here. So add main activity dot key to Android manifest. So let's, and you can see here it gave us a button to merge it into the manifest, which is really cool. So let's ask it, how do we set main activity as launcher activity? And so it says find the following code and then add the main activity with the launch mode as single tap, and let's try it. Let's see if it's able to do it. And it also replaced the occurrence of main activity. Okay, so let's try here. Let's try to run this and see if it works. So here we have a problem. It says that the app theme is not found. Okay, let's actually see. Let's open our Android manifest again here and see what theme did it apply. So we have it applied this theme that doesn't exist. So let's just keep the theme that exists already. So that's also, you can see there are still some things that are not complete yet. There's still some improvements to be made. But here, let's run it again, and it says it's unable to determine. So there are still some issues. So let's actually try to make this main activity in the right place. And so main activity, and instead of this colon thing, let's copy it over. Okay, just do it, leave the package as it is. And now we can see that this one actually we can just remove because it's not working properly. And now with this we need to download a couple of things. So for example, Compose. So let's ask StudioBot again, see if it's able to find that. So let's say is not working. What do I need to import using Gradle? And see if it gives us the right thing that we can add to our Gradle file. So it's saying that we need to add activity compose, right? So let's add it. Let's see if it finds where to add it. And I think it did. Yes, it did. It did add it to the libs reference, and it did add Android X activity. So let's look at the libraries reference here, and look like it did add it correctly. So that's pretty impressive, actually. So let's see if the error is gone. Gradle is still syncing here. And looks like that worked. So if we look at set content, we have it now. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now let's just complete these imports that we need here. So let's see also that, let's ask it, import is not working. What do we need to add to Gradle, right? Yeah, I'm explicitly doing this so that you can see that you can use it while working. So let's see, it says it adds material. Let's see if it added it here, and it did. And let's look at our libraries, and we do have it here. And Gradle is syncing again, so let's wait for that. Let's go to our main activity. And looks like that worked, so let's actually just write this in a better way and remove the material theme here. Now we have a view model scope that we are not finding it, so let's see, view model scope in main activity is marked as unresolved reference. Why and how to fix. So it says first we need to import the view model, so let's copy it, import it. It's a property of the view model class. It's used to run the coroutines in the background, so this is all correct. And we need to import it. Once you have imported it, will no longer be okay. It says that, but I don't believe that's the case. And here also this needs the context, but it's not there. So let's first look at this. Inherited. Okay, so it says that there is a problem with the view model. I think this is okay. This is wrong in the implementation. It needs to import the actual Android view model class, and it needs to be past applications. So let's ask it. So how do we get a view model, implement a view model that imports Android view model? Let's see how. So it says without this, okay, and it says that we need to have constructor like this. Okay, let's follow it up. Okay, so it's basically saying that we need to have something like this. Yeah. Or yeah, let's follow it here and see what it says. So it says convert it to a primary constructor. That's fine. And where are we creating our view model here? That's the problem also. So how do we get access to a view model in our activity, right? We are doing this step by step and seeing if it can guide our development if we don't really know anything. And so here looks like it's given us a couple of steps. So it says that we need to use a view model provider, which is correct. So let's do that. Okay. So let's import it. View model factory, though it didn't say how to get it. So how to get access to view model factory. There are a few ways to get access to view model factory. One way is to use the view model provider. That doesn't really help. Yeah, but you don't have view model factory. Okay, so it says we need to create it. So it's actually having trouble giving us the right thing, so let's give it some help. Let's go to main activity again. I changed a couple of things here. Let's use a factory function here. So let's say, let's ask it to add activity, Kotlin extension in Gradle. Okay. Okay, so let's actually do the thing where it asks us to add it, which was useful. So I want to import activity view model, view models to do something like this. Okay, and let's see if it's able to. I think this is pretty complex prompt. So it says we need to import this, and then we need to do something like this. Okay, but how do I get it in Gradle? Get the library needed in. Okay, so it says we need to do something like this. So let's actually just go here, do that. For now, it's not going to be following the same format, but that's fine for now. So let's just do it like that. Have our implementation and see what we get. So here it's saying that we can use more recent version, and it's saying that we can do it like this. Main activity, we can do something like this. I renamed this here to custom view model. It's still saying that we need to still not, I can't, is giving a resolver reference. So let's see if it's able to. So it's saying that we need to do something like this. We need to import it. So we did actually, but work. Okay, so you can see we reached the limits pretty quickly. So this is just like a demo that I wanted to show you of what the limitations are and where it can help. So you can see in some places it was able to help pretty quickly, like adding libraries in build.gradle and giving us also just a skeleton to start with that was useful. For example, how to save in preferences. That's pretty cool. That's done correctly. Also just giving us a structure for the layout, that's also was done, but connecting the view model was a little bit harder. So what I would recommend is starting with smaller prompts. Don't give it like a big prompt with a lot of things to do, because then when there are problems, you will spend a lot of time trying to fix them. But smaller prompts like the Gradle one, and then once you have the structure, for example, telling it just how you connect the view model, I think that works. Yeah, so definitely recommend playing with it and seeing what it can help you with. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.